Do-do-do. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are back in the city of Foosha, Foosha, here on City Skylines Remastered. And as you can see, there is a big-ass fire going on down here below me. Our school has been torched. Somebody was probably playing with matches in the playground or a lighter and didn't get caught by their teacher. You know, but that type of stuff happens, and you know, sometimes kids get their hands on lighters and go to school, their first day of kindergarten, and light candles in the sand in the school, and that shit happens. So here we are. Oh man, all right. Yeah, I did get busted for having a lighter and candles and lighting them on fire when I was in my first day of kindergarten in school. That happened to me. That was all me. So, just pulling up my comments section over here on my computer so I can see. It's
I'm not quite sure how to help you.
Hey, you hush over there. Stinking Alexa device. Hey, Tim. Hey, David. Welcome. Welcome. Oh, man. That's a good... Pardon me. That is a good deal. They're offering YouTube TV right now for a really good deal. $23 a month for 2 months. YouTube TV is pretty comparable to Hulu. So if you're looking for anything like that, totally got to check that out. It's like just popping up on my computer over here. So I'm almost interested because I do need to start thinking about NFL Sunday Ticket. That goes through YouTube now. And you can you can pay monthly and stuff like that. So that is what I will be doing so I can watch football this upcoming season. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen this season. It's going to be some good stuff. So, we are back here in Foosha, obviously, because Westwood has reached an end. And last week, we built this amazing... this thing, I was looking at it earlier, and I was just like, man... This thing turned out so dang good. It just turned out way better than I could even have imagined with it. And I'm very happy with what we got going on here. Regardless of, the little janky on-ramp here, but that had to go underground. But regardless of that, I'm very, very happy with this. This has turned out really good. And so through that, we started working on... Hey, Chris, welcome. What's up, man? A couple hours later, or a little more than a couple hours later, but still almost less than 12 hours later, that's for sure. I got a little bit of sleep last night, at least. So we're back here in this part of the city where we built these awesome roads. To be honest, as I was going through this, I was very happy with what I did and how I created the roads through here, because it just was a little more fun. When I started messing around building parks, putting in schools, doing those little things, I just was able to have a little bit more fun with it. And especially because this area in particular right here, we built specifically to be a park and get designed that way, and then just with some housing around it and such. So yeah, first off, what we're going to do is we're going to create a couple of communities within here, or districts, I guess. So let's get into our districting tools. And first off, the reason I wanted to do districts is because we've got the Sorting Hat District here. Let's shoot in. And the Sorting Hat District is all made up of, basically single and two-level homes out here. A lot of two-level homes. There's a couple of single-level homes, but I forget what we even used as far as the housing style in here and stuff like that. But anyway, regardless of that, I kind of wanted to not just absolutely impose city life directly over these buildings here. So the first thing we're going to do, even though they're kind of here to the corner, it's there to the corner. So this piece here, just want to bring in, follow down the road here, So right about here, we'll fix that in a minute. And then this spot, it's just going to be these two areas here. And the reason I'm doing this is going to be its own little thing, Umber Hills. I think we have an Umber Hills. We have an Umber Flats. This really isn't a hill either. Okay, there's a hill. Yeah, okay. That works. We're kind of up a hill. Okay, Umber Hills. We'll keep it that. Kind of up a hill. It should be Umber Hill. That's what we should call it. Yeah, Umber Hill. Hold on, I gotta do that. Umber Hill. I like it. Okay. So, this one here... Uh-oh. Oh, no. That's where I wanted to go. Okay, that's right. So I just need to... Oh my god, what did I just do? Oh, I'm just brain dead, that's all. Holy crap, I pushed the wrong button. I wanted this one, the Erase District, and I'm looking at the Erase District, but for some reason I'm pushing the other button, and I just wanted to take this little bit away down here. I will probably just hit it with another district tool, but... Oh shit, I hit the wrong button again. So, there we go, we'll do that. Let's build that back up, right there. Now this... Again, these two are going to be housing, so we're going to make this its own district right through here. We'll adjust these lines in a minute. I mean, you know, it's going to be messy until I can come here and adjust the lines. Forget it. Nothing I can do at the moment. We want to get our main areas set up, so let's just do that. It's the trouble of working with a controller instead of a mouse. One of these days, though, I'm going to look into... I have before, but I don't know if it's like better on here or not, because I looked into it with the basic City Skylines, the vanilla model. Okay, let's fix this. And it wasn't that good playing on here with mouse and keyboard, but I don't think I've ever looked into playing the remastered version with a mouse and keyboard, so I'm kind of interested in doing that. Now I want to do two different business districts also. So we're going to have this one as a business district. I should have made that a little smaller. Hold on. Make the outline small on here. Down to this road. Boom, boom. Do, 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 do. You know, I think it'd be so cool if there was somebody out there that was so dedicated to the music of City Skylines, they started remixing it and making club music out of it. I'd listen to it all the time. I freaking love techno. I have ever since I was a kid. Like, it's been around for a long time, you know? And, yeah, take something like this off of this station specifically. Let's go to the radios really quick. Let's look at this. So right now we're listening to Railhawk. So somebody started mixing Railhawk and this one's Synthetic Dawn, which is already a mix station, but still, like, there's tons of mixes here. I think it'd be fun. Man, if only I could do that. Like, I know how to use Fruity Loops on a computer, but I'm not that good, so. Let's get back into the game. But maybe it's just because I've been playing the game so long that I'm like, I love the music from City Skylines. It's so good. Oh, we're going this way. We're going to take this whole tomahawk-looking section here. Actually, more like a horn, right? Kind of like an instrument, like a horn or something here. I was kind of thinking tomahawk originally because of this little point back here. But now that I added this bottom to it, it's more like a horn. So. Okay, I suck at beatboxing too. But I thought I'd kind of like throw that idea out there. So still thinking about it. Right? Like mixes. All right. So I wanted that high heights. I like that. Just my personal opinion, bro. Franklin Park, we're cool with that. We can leave that alone. And so this, I was having a difficulty with it. I kind of was doing this mix of offices and like originally I didn't really put any like zoning here. I just kind of had this mix of offices and some industrial kind of closer to this. And what I did was I came in here, I was looking at, where'd it go? The fishing industry. And we have the fish factory and the fish market, which creates all that, which we do have. Don't get me wrong, we have one right there. But I was kind of thinking about doing it again. It just doesn't fit, really. It was this, though, that I got in here, the fish factory, I thought. What did I fit? Oh, I changed the road was how I did it. It was like I put it here and I moved that road over a little bit. But I just don't think I want to do that. So what I'm going to do is in my mind, was kind of wanting to do this originally, but I thought maybe going with the unique factory, something a little of the smaller ones. We've got the lemonade factory is pretty big though. This one, seafood factory, in fact, probably be the best one. And look at that. Look at that. It does fit here. It fits better than the other stuff from the actual like seafood stuff. At least in that one area. It's got a little bit of noise, a little bit of pollution. But that's why I was like choosing this down here. Because this whole area is kind of, like I said, going to be a mix of industrial, office space, maybe a couple of businesses. But let's go ahead. I want to see it right now. It's not going to fit like that. Maybe this way? Ooh. Oh. I got an idea. That works out perfectly fine for me, and what I want to do, I think if I would have put it the other direction there, it would have dug into the hill there. It wouldn't have looked as good. And yeah, I think this is what we're gonna do with this. I just, part of me didn't really want to go with a ton of industrial over here. I really only was using it and choosing it because of the sewage and the dump thing right there, or I think that's a recycling center or something like that. So let's see here. But I just had this crazy idea. This is gonna get let's see, this is gonna get you know, pollution and stuff through here. So let's go ahead. Throw down some plants. And start with some grass. It's always better to start with the grass, in my opinion, because then you can fill in with rocks. But I just figured, like, why... what popped into my brain was this whole corner could be owned by this fish factory, right? Like, we don't have to allow anything else to build in here. We can leave this all blank, and we can take that as an opportunity to just have fun and decorate a little bit with it and make it look pretty good. Lavelle District. Novell. Ooh. Talking about here, right? And can I watch football on YouTube and stream to it at the same time? Absolutely. I did it last season. I was paying for the football package last season and streaming at the same time. I had my phone sitting right here. I would be watching the game and playing along at the same time. So that was always good. I mean, if the Lions weren't playing, then of course I really wasn't watching something until before or after I was streaming. But if the Lions are playing, I had them on, and hey, I was even talking about the score occasionally. They did great last year, and I'm hoping for this season to just, I don't know, I'm hoping for a good season. But then there's that part of me that's been a Lions fan for way too long that, like, get all hopeful, and then you start to, like, feel that crushing weight of hope that, like, turns into despair, sort of, as a Lions fan. And you're like, well, wait a minute, we've never done that. We've never gotten to the Super Bowl ever, not once. Are we ever going to? But the thing that has me hopeful this season is the fact that Jared Goff did a freaking amazing job last season. He blew my mind. I'll tell you that right now. He blew my mind. I've never seen Jared Goff play in the way that he did last season to make me think like, wow, this guy is actually really good. And then at the same time, the lineup that they have built around him, they did such an amazing job. And the defense, they did such a great job with that. Now we've lost our defensive coach. He's now going to be a head coach or something like that somewhere else. I don't know. Whatever. We lost him. He's not our coach anymore. And so they got to get a new one or whatever. Or maybe they did, and I just not paying attention. But yeah, the season's going to be great. So, all right, yeah, let's go ahead and we'll throw down a district then in here. A lot of times I don't throw down too many districts, but I want to keep the attention on buildings and the size. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is take this away. And then we'll add this one in because I'm going, like, okay, let me explain what I'm doing, why I split these districts up so much. Umber Hill, I want to grow from Sorting Hat District. So if you look down here, Sorting Hat District has a lot of 2-level, 3-level homes. A couple of 3 levels, but mostly 2-level homes. And they look pretty good down here. I know I'm looking at it through the dot here, but it works because of this little bit of greenway that kind of grows across the highway, and then you have all this here in Hamilton, right? And then at the same time, everything here in Empire, as it grows, it's across the way. It's there, but it's not quite on top of it. Whereas Umber Hill is on top of it. Hawthorne, well, it's Hawthorne right now. We're going to change that. Is right on top of it. LLE. Just double checking that. It's all novella. There we go. So, the reason being, like I was getting into there, is try to keep the growth looking proper. So here at Umber Hill and everything will be kind of that restricted height. Like it won't be allowed to grow to the full height of the buildings that it should get to. I was even considering using the Korea, where is it? This here, the Heart of Korea, because what it does, it gives it like unique buildings, kind of unique to that where they grow properly. So you'll see when we get it set up. This area here, Umber Hill, is going to be great. It's just I want it to grow, and then Chestnut Heights, High Heights, Franklin Park, all that will be full-size buildings like this. Because again, we're working towards 1 million citizens. We're at 266,000 citizens. Over to. It needs to grow. Let's hit play. I'm letting my superstitions get the better of me. Alright, well, we're going to let that play on. Let's get back over here. I was having a little bit of fun with this. And I figured, like I said, this being the fish factory here, we're going to go ahead and just let them own all the property. And we'll let the rest of this just kind of get decorated out. Definitely get some bushes all up along in here. Along there. If I can get something along in here, I want to really try. Like the bushes, I think are probably the best choice because they're so small. That's again, if I can get them to kind of fit. Oh, look, we can get one. I'm just like tapping the crap out of the button right now. And I'm not getting it in there, so. Alright, now we're going to jump over here to these. There you go. I'm trying to do all the ground pieces first. We're going to add the rocks really soon here, but because we're not going to have trees in this spot. Yeah, this city's amazing. There we go. That fixed it. So, what I want to do now is a couple of these. Let's find the smaller ones. That helps to kind of like get those sides looking pretty good, everything like that. So get one more up in here. Now let's do it. Let's get the rocks. I was kind of wondering if I can fit. Oh no, no, nada. Nope. Not gonna happen. We can get one of these, but it's gonna delete a bunch of the grass and bushes. So we're not gonna do that. So we're just gonna stick to these. Get one there. Probably a little more like this. And then what we'll do is we'll drop a few of these in the center. And now we'll start spreading these out among our bushes, our grass. So the last few weeks, I've had to go out of town for work. I've had to travel. I mean, it's not too far. It's like an hour and a half to where the place I'm staying is, and then another couple of minutes to the job. If I left directly to the job, it'd be like an hour and 15, 20 minutes to the job directly. But regardless of that, while I'm out there, what I'm doing is I'm working 10-hour days, staying at a trailer in an RV park. The trailer's not too bad. The RV park is pretty nice. A lot of old people running around. And staying out there. And so this week, I actually am kind of getting a break from that. I get to stay home this week with my dogs. They're going to love that. I'm working in Ashland this week, so it's only like 20, 30 minutes away from where I live. And the reason we're staying out there, though, is because the drive itself, even though it's like think about it, it's an hour and a half pretty much every day, back and forth. So that's 3 hours of driving for work. And the only thing I have to worry about is my dogs, my mom, and my mom and her husband are able to take care of my dogs and stuff like that for me. So there's not a big worry or anything about that. Let's see if I get one more right in here. Nope. And so yeah, I stay out there throughout the week for a couple days. We do 10-hour days, and that's the thing, is because we'll do 4 10-hour days to get our 40 hours for the week. And so you get to the end of the day. What we do is we start at 6 a.m., get off at 4:30, and then get out of there, head back over to the trailer, make dinner, and basically we're falling asleep right after that. So that's why we're staying out there throughout the week. Driving home after that all day, every day, would drive me nuts, I tell you right now. Apparently there's a new single from Juice WRLD, who died years ago, but there's a new single from him apparently on Apple Music. I don't know how that happened. They took a cruise in a spaceship up to heaven. They're like, "Hey, Juice, can you lay down a new track for us real quick?" Now, I know that he had a ton of stuff recorded before he died, and it's so weird to see stuff like that, though, after an artist dies, when they put stuff like that out. Do y'all see that tree up there? That tree is floating. Rubbing my eyes to make sure it's real. Yeah, that's real. The tree is floating. It was. Now it's not. Let's go back here. There, now it's up. Floating. Not floating. Floating. Not floating. Floating. Not floating. The other ones too. Floating. Not floating. An hour northeast of Ashland, Ohio. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's like 20, 30 minutes away, depending on what you're trying to get to there in Ashland. It's the first city you come into as you enter Oregon on the I-5 coming out of California. Currently, there is a big fire just south of Ashland going on in the hills. I don't know if they got the I-5 open back up or not, but it was closed the last time I saw. And then there's all kinds of stuff going on throughout the city in there. And then the job we're doing out there is we're building a brand new home for this couple who just moved there from, I'm assuming, California. And a lot of people from California moved to Ashland. And so, yeah, that's why I'm assuming that. I think I just don't want to add trees because then they get sick because of the pollution, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the house looks pretty nice. I'll try and get some pictures. I haven't actually been there in a long time, so I'll try and get some pictures tomorrow of where the project has gotten to since the last time I was there. We can get them power, too. Okay, so I'm going to leave that alone. I like the way the property looks right there. So let's add in a couple more things to, I mean, just real light with the, yeah, it's kind of funny. They are like south, they're southwest of me, to be honest, but still south of me. That's all I'm looking for. I want some light duty, there we go, stuff like warehouses, some, see, I don't think there's any other small factories. I think that was the smallest one, was the seafood factory. Steel plant is enormous, so no. Our factory is massive. Again, no. Soft paper, nope, that's a big old thing. The petroleum refinery I know is big too. The petroleum refinery, I think I want to take and I'm half considering doing a little bit of petroleum mining out here. The thing is, oh, wait a minute. So, okay, now what I meant to say is I'm considering doing petroleum mining out here. And so this is where we'll add this plant in, is somewhere out here. And that keeps us away from our protected areas. We'll be able to build more homes and stuff, and then go back into some industrial with the oil production over here and be able to use that in the future. So then what I want to do is possibly on the outskirts here, maybe make a road down here to, where is it? The shipyard. But it's just a thought. I don't think it's really the best place for a shipyard down here, because then again, now we're taking away from our protected land all through here by adding a shipyard and road. So the shipyard, I was almost then considering changing up to somewhere like here, because then it could still be considered nature reserve over there if this little sliver was just turned into use for the shipyard. Or then again, you've got those areas that wouldn't really work, but areas like here, we're going to end up purchasing some of this area. We could use this. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do at the shipyard yet, but that's eventually going to get built in too. So sneaker factories, too big, but it's not going to really fit in the area anywhere. So yeah, nothing again out of here that we can really use. So when I look at the warehouses, railway connection, I don't think we have a railway running through this area. Well, I mean, we do, but it's way over there, and it'd be a pain in the butt to get one over here. So, like, we'd have to cut through. And here I go thinking about it. Son of a bitch. We'd have to cut through with it, like through here, and then drop it down behind the factories here, so it look like it's part of these. Oh. And then it comes up the hill. Well, where would we even put that? Oh, I don't think it would be. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's just too much. It's too much. If that road didn't go through there, we might be able to do something about that. Or I guess we could. Just a small thought. It's like possibly this, but the thing is, I believe the railroad tracks are on the right side of the factory here, or I mean the warehouse. So it actually needs to get turned that way. Okay. No, I'm going to stop thinking about it. There's too much work there. That's way too big. Umber Hill here, like this little area is going to be a tiny mix of business, and then it's going to turn into housing through there. So I want to be careful about how I'm putting stuff in. Even the small warehouse is like huge, but look at this, the warehouse yard, it's the smallest one. Perfect. Alright, that was actually where I really would like it to be. Let's go with fish. Let's just do it. Let's just make this area all about the fishing industry. People won't know whether they're smelling the fish or the sewage. You know, it's just the way life will be for people living in that area. They either work at the fishing factory or they work at the sewage plant or the dump. Which one is it? To be honest, I'm not trying to make fun of any of those jobs. Those people make good money and they do service to everybody out there that needs to be done. So, and I am the type of person that does not want to do anything in this industry at all. Like, I keep me away from this industry. Not my cup of tea. And yeah, nope. The dump, I could probably handle the dump, but it still stinks. Fish, I could deal with. I think I could deal with fish. Like, if I was the choice between those three, I think I would go for the fish factory. So, let's see. Maybe this small warehouse. Ooh, look at that. Got this nice little spot where it just kind of slides in right in here. And I obviously did not choose what I needed it to be. So we're going to again go with, I was thinking fish, but yeah, forget about it. It'll be fish. It'll be fish. Balance storage. So this is our fishing industry. Let's go ahead and I kind of have this. I want this. I want this. The Industrial Evolution. I just have something in mind right now that just kind of, it makes me think of like the East Coast is almost what's coming into my brain, like kind of a little mock-up of the East Coast a little bit here. So let's go ahead, choose all of this really fast. Automated storage. Oh, that's for post offices, but we'll do that because I think we were starting to add those in. It was either here or the other one. We need to do that. We should do that. Well, profit education, book fair, fishing license. Obviously, you would need a fishing license if you wanted to go fish anywhere there is a fishing industry. Algae-based water filtering. Obviously, we're going to do that. We're on the coast. Duh. Industrial space planning. Lightning rods. Filter industrial waste. Industry 4.0. Sustainable fishing. Dolphin safe fishing. When the hell did that get added? Am I wrong that was not there prior? Like, I don't remember there being a dolphin-safe fishing option. And it's like right now, it's like, oh, so I leave it off and I'm out there like, yeah, let's get the dolphins. We're going to eat animals that are just as intelligent as us. That's the one thing about it that I can't. It's the only reason I couldn't eat a dolphin, is I know they're as intelligent as us. Those assholes go and get high, too. Did you know this? Did you know that dolphins get high? They chase around pufferfish, which let off a neurotoxin, and the dolphins get high on it, and they pass it between each other. They're like, pufferfish, pass, brah. I swear to God. I'm not lying about this. Like, you look it up. Dolphins get high on pufferfish. Pufferfish, pass. Dude, that'd be kind of cool. Go ahead and meet, like in the Ashland by me, there's some really good restaurants. So it'd be like so awesome to like have a some type of gate. Some type of weird gate. I wanted to say like the Stargate or something like that. That one's kind of between planets. But yeah, something like Stargate. Where you would just see like, all of a sudden you're from one Ashland to the next. And then we could meet up and be like, bro, let's eat at this place I absolutely love. They make the best dang burgers. And they have a quinoa salad because there's vegetarians in this damn city. So, but it's good. Alright, so we're saving the dolphins. Making sure we got the... Look at that, there's a little dolphin. Look, he's got pink cheeks. Oh, how cute. He's like a gray dolphichu. Okay, so we're saving dolphins. Got that going. Well, I think this will become a district, but we'll mess with that just a minute here. We got to make sure this one's built just right. Like, I'm trying to stay away from a lot of land destruction as far as like the pollution goes, but you can see it's already going on like there with the like the sewage and the dump and stuff like that. I guess that's a recycling plant, not necessarily a dump, but and we should add another recycling plant in the area. I just think it would be useful. This one, is that a waste transfer facility? No, they're both good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's the same. We'll just make it the same, but they're across the street from each other. That works out for me. Except for that weird hill. I'll have to figure this out as stuff gets built here. I want to do a couple more things. You need some parking lots to make sure that they are happy. Because they have parking lots. Like, that makes them happy. Makes me happy. There we go. So just... let's see what it does. It's the worst parking lot in the friggin' world. Okay, here. Much better. Like, even the hill, the weird little hill, would not be a big problem there. Oh, I can fit one in between them, but look at how awful that's going to look. I don't want to put anything around there, but I guess they could have a parking lot across the street. Maybe they'd have a large... oh, it's not fair. I was going to say, maybe they'd have a large parking lot that won't fit properly. Like, staring at the business there. Put throwing these suckers in. We'll do one more. I just kind of want to make sure I have, like, the area covered as far as happiness. Yay, we got a parking lot. Yay! So let's put it behind the warehouse here. That's not too bad. It's a good idea. And then maybe it'll look like they're together if we do this. Abso-freaking-lutely. Nice. Okay, that works out really good. Then we could do something like this. Just kind of make it flow. I don't like those tables at all, actually. I like these tables in... Is it the City Park ones? No. It's the... No! Oh my god. I was thinking of the wrong ones altogether. In the parks, but we gotta go to... up here. These tables are the best tables. So, you got your parking lot, you got your warehouse or whatever, and now you've got your employee area for hanging out, right? And let's go ahead, we're going to come down here, we're going to grab a little bathroom. Throw that in. Happy little bathroom. So now the employees totally have this little work area, rest area, out behind, right by the parking. They can run out to their car, grab their lunch, go over there, sit down, hang out with their buddies. There's a bathroom, and then bam, right back to work. And the business itself doesn't have to throw down too much as far as buildings go because they got all this. And we can make it a little bit better and throw down a taco truck. Who would not love having a taco truck at their damn business, right? Bam, taco truck, outside, everybody come up, order tacos, burritos, enchiladas, burritos, soda, whatever you want, right there, bam. And that taco truck is so awesome, I guarantee they've got the awesome little jalapenos and carrots mix sitting right there waiting for you to just snatch it up and eat as much as you need, along with their cool ass salsa bar. So bam, that looks good to me. I love it. All right, so I did. Oh, okay. Just had to make sure I wasn't gonna fall. I did make this an industrial area. So what we're gonna do is I want to go ahead and check our zoning. And it is generic. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do about it. I'm thinking about these office wall-to-wall buildings as a unique shape, but oh no, it won't work. It won't work. We have set up with that. Never mind. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Oh. Did I... High-rise band. There we go. In here. High-rise band. Both of those need a high-rise band before I forget. Now, I want to put offices in specific spots. Let's go with a medium tool. We're going to fill this in, but I'm going to open a few of them up and change a couple to like small businesses. Or some business, I should say. There we go. That. I'm just going to choose a few through here. Delete. I want a majority of this to be office space. Like a majority. Boom, that. Maybe a little metal finger looking one there. And then what we'll do is we'll come in here and fill these spots back in now with businesses. Now, before anything builds, I've got this giant space right here, and when I was playing around in the test build, I started doing this. Because I started getting into the decorating, and I figured let's do it right now. I'm gonna go up here to down here to our walkways. Just grab it. Like, the best walkway is the original pavement path. Like, seriously, this thing just molds to the ground, goes where you need it to go. If you use any of these college paths and stuff like that, they tend to screw it up and try to level the ground and stuff like that. So the gravel path also works, but I didn't want to use that here. I wanted to use this. So since we are coming out of... Okay, let's go freeform. I'm going to turn all these angles and snaps off. And we're going to go boom. You can do like an X through here. Add a little bit of curve here and there. Make it look good. There we go. Nice, 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 nice. Now, I really wish I had like some of the stuff that the PC players have, because it would be really cool to be able to throw this in here and move it to the center and like have this little square piece of pavement centered in the middle of this X. But it doesn't let me do that. It does all this jiggity stuff, and it pisses me off. So, can't do that. So what we're going to do is just have fun alternatively with the grass down there below. Since this is all offices, there's not going to actually be any industrial buildings right there. We can go ahead and add trees. There we go. Let's start off with... darken up the grass here. Now some of these will probably get knocked out or removed. I'm just tossing them in randomly because this little center is filled up. Okay, now 1, 2. There we go, that should be good. Now let's do a couple of grass spots with the trees. If it'll let me. There we go, good little spot there. Some flowers. Since this is the spot people are walking through, we'll throw a couple of bushy flowers through here. Again, I'm just going to try and keep them a little bit random. Kind of like wildflowers, I guess. Now these... I wanted to do that. I did it with the red trees before, but I didn't really like the way it looked with the flame trees in there. Kind of short. But those are nice. They have a good, big, full, bushy look to them, so... let's add one of these. A couple of these. Richard Jenkins, are you having a good day? Hey, Richard, welcome, man. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Having a good day? I hope you're having a good day as well. I'll throw a few of these in. Don't want to go too hard on the rocks, though. Let's see here. So now the whole idea was to make this kind of a little area for people to chill in between their businesses and where they work. So we do need a bathroom. Because I couldn't add in all the cement like I wanted. Bam, we'll throw that down just there. Looks good. Now we do need... I gotta move like all the way down here in the list of stuff and then go back up to where I'm gonna grab the other things. But I do want like a trash can there. And if you do it just right, you can get one right here in the center. I love it. And then we can throw one here in the corner. Just for like everybody's average garbage collection right there. Now, I want to go to the top here. We're going to grab some of these random... like I said, I like this bench better than the original ones. It has a better feel, like it actually would allow people to sit on it. Like, let's set this down. And then I'm going to grab, just so we can compare. Just a comparison. We're going to grab the original bench. And look at that. Now, hold on. We have to do this. Hide. Walk. So, here we are. Park Ranger Sally here. Now, which bench do you think Park Ranger... I guess they both work. And this is just a huge-ass bench that would seat a lot of people. It's kind of tall. So even somebody like Park Ranger Sally would be dangling their legs off like a kid. But this looks a little small now. This is like a kid's bench. Now that I'm looking at it, proportionally, I think this bench actually is the better one. Now that I'm looking at them, it's like, yay, mommy, daddy, I want to eat. Okay, you're going to sit here at the kids' table. And we're going to go over here. Alright, let's reconsider. I never really threw anybody down there before and looked at it like that. In my brain, that's how it looked. So, we've got other tables too that work out. So we're going to throw a couple of these down then. On the rocks, but I think over here wouldn't be too shabby. We've got a couple spots. Right in the shade, that'd be a nice table to sit at sometimes. You and your friends, make sure you're like the first ones out there at lunchtime so you get the shady table in the middle of summer, right? Like, dude, Fred, get your ass out there. Tell your boss you have to go to the bathroom or something. Just get out there and just hold our table. Don't let anybody touch it. Let's throw a clock down here, though, because like I said, this is an industrial or office zone and stuff, so people are going to want to know the time. So a little clock right here. Everybody can see the time. Oh, they got to get back to the job. Bill, let's go. I don't really care about benches, but at the same time, I kind of would feel bad if I didn't have a couple here and there for those people who like to just sit on a bench and eat alone. So we'll throw a couple down. I know there are people out there like that. Occasionally I like to do that. Me personally, I like to just sit in my car. I'll pop in my car, turn on the AC, have my phone playing Crunchyroll or YouTube, and I am just enjoying my lunch break, you know? Like, it's that 30 minutes of time that I get to myself. I mean, what really sucks is those days I don't bring food and I gotta like run to McDonald's or Dairy Queen or something like that, and it just takes forever to go get lunch. So I might make myself some lunch tomorrow. We'll see. I'm gonna make some tuna for lunch tomorrow. That'll be good. I like tuna sandwiches. Alright. That looks pretty good to me. I think we don't want to overdo it. Like, this is perfect. There's a little bathroom, there's tables. People don't need very much more than that. They brought their lunch with them. They're going to go out there and sit and hang out. Now, I would throw down some barbecues because if this is a construction site, any of the Mexicans on the construction site, they're going to be cooking their food on site. They got their little barbecue or their hot plate connected to the power cord going over to the generator or whatever, which always makes me a little jealous because you're sitting there like, oh fuck, what the hell are they cooking? Oh my god, that smells so good. Oh shit, he's got carne asada going on that hot plate right now. Oh my god. They need something between the two. The one looks big and the other two look small. Right? They do. It's... Let's go down there again. Now, some of the things, we got the table, original table, so we can toss down. Let's look at a couple of comparisons. We got this. We got this. Ooh, this one. Forgot about that one. We've got all these, but these are like restaurant tables, so I don't think they count. We'll throw one down, though. This four-seater. Then let's go up here to these. The dining set, I guess, since we got the other one. Now we'll go up here and find... This doesn't have any seats with it, necessarily, but let me show you something. So you can set that down and use these. Like that. Now, we go here to this one. We'll throw that down. Bam. So let's go in here, hide, walk, and we got Park Ranger Sally. So, the chairs, this one looks cool. I like this. This is actually very much usable by Park Ranger Sally here. Like, that would be awesome. This is a great set right here. However, these chairs are so far away from the table, you have to be Stretch Armstrong or the Incredible Man, whatever he is from the Fantastic Four, to make it to your drink on the table. Again, we've discussed this one. It's kind of big. Like, so your legs would be dangling off of that if you were sitting on it, but it still would be usable for somebody like Park Ranger Sally versus this one being Park Ranger Sally's children's would be sitting there. So this one is actually not too shabby either. This one's a good size. It's very thick though. The table is like super thick. So it'd be kind of weird sitting at a table that thick. And the same thing here. This has a thick table, but these are all cement. Let's pull back from Sally a little bit here. And even sitting on it, though, I think this would be a more comfortable seat than the benches. The big picnic bench there. This one, again, another more comfortable seat. It seems to be at knee height, so you'd sit down, your feet would still be flat on the ground, your butt would be planted firmly. A lot of these, to be honest, seem to be a lot more closer to proper height than this table and this table. These two are probably the worst tables out of all of them. Everything else, other than like maybe the thickness of these tabletops. Let's go look at this one over. Even this one, look at, you'd sit down, have tea with your friend Betsy over here, and you're sitting properly in your chair. So, yeah, all these tables are pretty good. The only thing is, like, okay, again, come on, Sally. This one here, chairs are too far away, and these ones are just such odd sizes that they didn't really consider, whereas I believe people who made these tables considered the size of the Sims walking through, so. Alright, now let's go ahead and... Did that just delete a tree as well? That's bullshit. I really... Yeah, I'll put some new trees back in. I just have to get these tables. I don't need a bunch of random tables sitting around. Okay, we'll leave the kids' table there if it's really necessary to, I guess. Get the tiki table out of the way. Can we get the kids' table? No? It's just gonna be there? Okay, let's go ahead and add some trees back. Alright. You know, I kind of was almost thinking that. Let's take one of these spots and just take a look. It grabbed the table and the tree. It's the weirdest thing. Delete the table, delete the tree. Now that one was down here in the original tables. It's university table. Oh, it's from the university. Interesting. We'll have to throw another tree back in there because we deleted one by accident. But to be honest, now that you mention it, we go and look like that one. It looks a lot better. It really does. People would be sitting more in a circle like that, talking to each other, enjoying their lunch, than sitting on benches like that. I definitely agree with that. Like, these would have been like, they would have had something like this back in the 70s. And then they're like, let's upgrade. It's 1989. And they got their circle benches, and they've been there ever since. Yeah, it's not too shabby. We got the bathroom, we got some trash cans, we got a little rock area. You can just sit there if you want in the grass. Yeah. Yeah, this is it. This is exactly perfect. This is... I don't want to overdo it, and I think that's actually the best way to just not overdo it. Some tables, a bathroom, grass, trees, you're good to go. So, let's see here. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Those tables are definitely a lot better than other ones. So, now, let's go ahead and hit play, because it's going to start filling in pretty much almost immediately. And what I want to do... Oops, wrong one. Oh my gosh. Is grab a couple of these, throw in a few spots, not too many. Like, I don't want it to be a just completely filled in area. Well, it's like, you know, like, people have been slowly buying up property and putting in businesses, their little industrial business in over here type of thing. That's the way I'm kind of thinking of it. So I don't want to have a whole lot, but just every other little space or so. Like over here, I can have a, you know, we could fill this in, because we got a little more of the, you know, the ground rot going on here. So people would have been like, yeah, you know, I can really do the industrial here. Like, nobody's going to bitch at me about the little bit of pollution we're going to be pushing off next to a sewage plant, right? So do something like that. And let's just, like, stop right there with it. I think that's perfect. Do we have water lines? You frickin' know it. We did that last week, bud. We water lined the snot out of it. Those water lines are so tight and secure, plumbers don't know what to do. They're like, what? How did you do that? My line came out through the middle of the living room yesterday. And I say that because I'm working at a job, that job in Klamath Falls, and there's a piece of, or a part of the flooring missing, and we're supposed to be putting down base and trim and everything like that in these apartments. And there's a part of flooring missing, so I can't put the base down. And I'm looking at it, and it didn't catch me at first, but then it finally caught me later on. There's a pipe sticking out of the ground right there, just boom. They missed the wall by like a whole foot, where it should have been inside the wall, where the pipe would have went in. And I'm kind of laughing about it. Like, yep, that's typical, typical plumber, I guess. Alright, so let's let this build up really quick. We're going to let this kind of do its thing. I'm going to grab a drink off my lemonade here. Man. I know it's filled with like all kinds of sugar. High fructose corn syrup, I should say. But Minute Maid lemonade is actually one of my favorites. As far as like these little, like you can just throw it in your work lunchbox, little 12-ounce bottles. I'm able to grab those, and they're cheap. It's like $3 for a 6-pack of those 12-ounce bottles. $3 or $4, and you throw them in your lunchbox, one or two of those in the lunchbox, and you have something sweet, at some point. It'll give you a little sugar rush. And I carry a ton of water in my lunchbox too. Like I've got more bottles of water in there than anything else. I carry like 2 sodas, 1 or 2 of those lemonades if I can, whenever I can find them. They're like, it's one of the harder things to find at the store, to be honest. Everybody else kind of has the same idea as me, I guess. And then, water. And I always have a milk in my lunchbox. I always have about like 12 to 14 ounces of milk or 16 ounces of milk in my lunchbox, because I absolutely need to have milk when I eat lunch around like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. Which is usually like a bag of peanuts or something I go run to the store for. If I'm close to McDonald's, I'll run and grab a couple of McDonald's breakfast burritos. Those things are so good. Oh my god. And they're like 2 for $3 or something like that. Yes, Minute Maid is much better for lunch at work than Mike's. And that's the one thing I always joke around about, like, with my coworkers and stuff, is like, because when I do the job and I go out there to Klamath Falls on Thursday, I pack everything up, I throw it in my car, and that way, as soon as the job is over, I can drive straight home. And I have my whole 3-day weekend to go on. And in that packing, if I have anywhere from a half a bottle of whiskey or more left over, it usually gets packed into my bag, and I'm like, yep, that's my biggest temptation, is sitting there at work and I've got a half a bottle of whiskey in my bag. But then the other thought pops into my brain, yeah, you might have a half a bottle of whiskey in your bag, but you're also about to go use that chop saw right there, and you don't need to be doing that on half a bottle of whiskey. And it keeps me away from that. Having a chop saw on the job always keeps me away from that bottle of whiskey on the job. However, it doesn't seem to phase other people. There have been times that you'll go into a porta potty at work and find a can of beer thrown down into the tank. You're going to go sit down so you can use the seat for your business, and you look down and you see a can of Modelo floating down there. You're like, aha, I wonder who's drinking that. There's this one guy I see on the job all the time, and if you're my age, if you're around my age, you remember movies with Ernest. Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Scared Silly, Ernest P. Worrell, right? If you know who Ernest is, you know who I'm talking about, right? You got face out. He wears that silly brown hat. He died a long time ago, I believe. But he wears that silly brown hat and the same outfit all the time. The jeans and the shirt. I loved Ernest when I was growing up. Like, Ernest was one of my favorite freaking TV shows / movies that ever came out. And so anyway, there's this guy that works on the jobs. He's a plumber. And I always call him Ernest Goes to the Bar, because he looks like Ernest P. Worrell, but he looks like Ernest P. Worrell after he spent about half his life at the bar. So I shouldn't talk too much shit. That's just what he makes me think of. And my coworkers know who I'm talking about when I say that too, though. I'll be like, yeah, you know, I had to run in behind, what's his name? The guy, Ernest Goes to the Bar. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. All right. I've got names for everybody at work. I know there's a Beavis and Butthead. That was a couple years ago. I haven't seen those guys since. They were like minor laborers, so they not part of our company, but a different company, like a major company that we subcontracted to. But you had Beavis and Butthead. Then there was do you remember, if you remember old school Looney Tunes, there was this big duck, this big dumb duck. He was like, ho, 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 ho. It was just a big dumb duck. And his name was Huey or something? Baby Huey. Baby Huey the duck. And there was a Baby Huey at one of the jobs. We always called him Baby Huey. He was just one of those big, dumb son of a bitch. Just... Then we've had... there was a Cheech and Chong. I had a Cheech and Chong at a job. That was a couple of Mexican guys. They were fucking awesome, though. Those guys were cool as hell. I even let them know that I had nicknames for them. And they laughed about it. Then there's, let's see. We got this one guy. His name is Jay. He can't seem to stay focused. So I call him JDD. Baby Huey. So we call him JDD because he cannot keep focus on anything. Then, when you work in construction, those things, like, swear to God, and as a construction worker, I guarantee there's names people have for me. I'm the asshole, the piece of shit, that dick, that motherfucking piece of garbage that talked shit on me the other day. There's a lot of names for me, I'm pretty sure. And I just accept it, you know, that's construction life. That loudmouth asshole that won't shut the fuck up. That one, I've heard that one before about myself. Oh, I got kicked off of a job because of saying somebody's name a little too much out loud. That one got me kicked off a job for a day or two. But it happens. At least I've never known an HR office in my life. If I worked for a large company, I probably would have, though. I'd probably know the HR lady, HR man, whoever, very well at this point if I worked for a larger company. Oh my god. I know the safety. I do know the safety guys from the larger companies that we subcontract under. Like, as soon as I see them on site, I'm like, oh shit, hard hat on. Get your hard hat. Jesse, find your fucking hard hat. Put it on, dude. The safety guy's here. Where's your vest? Go get your visible vest. Alright, let's take a skip away from all this. Let's go over here and have a little bit of fun. So this area here, what we're doing is we have this kind of mix of office, industrial, which I want to just kind of flow right into, just a tiny bit of business and then housing through here. So all this up here, let's get back into this. There we go. We did get rid of the high rises, but I want to go in here and go to Umber. Hard hat, safety glasses. It's not safety glasses, David. It's the safety squint, okay? Like, safety glasses, who needs those, right? Who needs safety? If you squint tight enough and you can still see through the squint when you're grinding at the metal or whatever in front of you, it's perfectly fine. It's totally fine, trust me. Safety squint 100%. We're going to choose the heart of Korea. And I'm kind of not lying. I do have safety glasses. I have safety glasses. I have a full mask, a full plastic mask that I use when I'm cutting metal. But there's that occasional time or two where you're like, I just need to take this little 1/4 inch off of here. And you just kind of like look, you know, you make sure you're hitting the right spot, and then you turn your head away and you keep your eyes closed. So you're not even looking at your work. You don't even know if you're hitting the right spot. I fucking love construction work for that. That's really one of the things I have fun with. And then all of a sudden you're like, somebody's charging after you like, hey, where's your guard? Why don't you have a guard on that saw? You're like, what are you talking about? It's right there on the ground. That's the guard. I just couldn't use it right now. Oh man, me and this one guy, I forget his name. It starts with a C, I'm pretty sure. And he's huge. He looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin. This dude look like he would crush me. If we got into a boxing match, this guy would fucking crush me. He looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he comes up at me one day, just getting in my face. Why don't you have a guard on that saw? Why isn't there a guard on that saw? And I was pissed. Like, I wasn't even using the saw. And so I started getting right back in his face. That one almost got me close to being fired, too. But, me and that guy have a different respect for each other these days. I've seen him on a few jobs since then. He's a totally cool dude, don't get me wrong. I get along with him these days. Just can't remember his name. Alright, let's throw a few businesses in down here at the bottom. Oh, I kind of have this, like... I just had a really good idea. So, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go with the regular tall buildings through here. Something just popped into my head, and it just sounded really good to me at the moment. So we're going to look at this in a second, but I'm going to get the rest of the businesses in here that I want. Come on. Stop saving, and let me do this. So this side business, we're gonna take a couple of these out. I'm just trying to fill in as many as possible. We're gonna take a couple out, throw a couple of office spaces up through here. Kind of the opposite of what we did just below here. But here, I just had this really good idea. So I want to do these small businesses through here. Don't want to go too deep into the center. I want to leave that open. That's why I didn't choose those last squares. And I kind of want to do, let's pause this, a very similar thing, except to what I just did with the office spaces. But I want to choose, oops, I'm in the wrong spot. I want to choose a small park to work with here, like this cafe or something. Like, these cafes are perfect for stuff like this. And yeah, right there. And then what we can do is come over here to the walkways, which will attach to the cafe. Like that. Beautiful. And then we're going to come in here, we'll throw down another one. We don't need too much. And now, kind of a cool thing we can do here, since this is all businesses, now we can take a few of these little trees, throw some stuff in like this. It already threw down a nice little palm there for us, so we can throw down a couple more. Make sure our native plants are actually being shown off in the area here. But then the rest of this is small business, back in there, small businesses getting built up around it, so it doesn't overpower the little park area right there, the little restaurant, stuff like that. But then all the other stuff is, you know, to me, it almost seems like this might look really cool. I want to see what it looks like. So we're going to leave that alone. The one thing that really ticks me off is that the game has these orange trees in it. You see that orange tree right there? I love the orange trees. I think they look wonderful. The area between Gray and Briarwood, what are you doing in the center area with no businesses? Oh, here. I mean, that would have been a little bit better, like, with my thought here. But I was planning... Ooh. It would be kind of cool if I could get that to fit. I was planning on using it up with something in here of this matter, and then just kind of planting trees around it. So we've got a lot of choices that we could kind of go with. I've already used cinema. It's kind of small too. Theater. See, the theater fits in there really nice, and it's not super huge, and fits with a lot of the buildings that will be built up around it. Casinos, like, it fits, but it takes up a lot of area, so I didn't really like the casino. That's not right. Nope. The Grand Mall was another option I thought about, but I didn't really like the size of it as far as the width. Then we've got the Expo Center, which fits in there very well. Again, we're messing with some of the businesses that are starting to build up, but that doesn't matter. The Expo Center, though, on the other hand, I kind of like the idea of this one. Let's slow it down. Because, look it's a big building. Stuff's going to get built up around it. And it also helps with, like, you're going to have tall buildings here, and then, like, kind of here and here and stuff. But then out of the front of it, you'd be able to come off and be like, oh, it's like a park, you know, and, like, some restaurants and stuff here. So that's what the small businesses would be like. So I kind of like that one. There was something else that I was looking at. No, because I can't use that. I think it was, no. Yeah, it was the Modern Art Museum. It kind of fit in there, too. It's like right there. If it wasn't there, you'd be able to see it. But, and then, stadium does fit. I don't think I looked at that one, though, because I already do stuff with, like, the other stadiums in the game. Then we have... There was one more thing I was looking at, and it was... Oh, I remember. Hotels. So we've got these larger hotels, like this conference hotel. And it's pretty tall, but we're building, you know, taller buildings this way. And now that I look at it, I kind of have a good idea here. Let's go with this. This will be the tallest building in the spot. It's huge, but check this out. I've got a great idea here. Because we got a conference center, why wouldn't you have a hotel that's meant for working with that conference center, right? And then, let's have a little bit of fun here. Actually, let's go here. You can get rid of all this here. Now, I want to see... Oh, man, it does not like it, but at the same time... One thing I'm not liking about where it like finally turns blue and I can use it is there's so much like ground right there. Ooh, it hides it. You know what? I don't like it. I just can't 100% go with it yet. Let's look at a couple things really quick first, and then we'll come back to that. Like one parking lot. I want a parking lot right here. Like that. There we go. They kind of crisscross, but I'm going to ignore that. So now we can do that. This allows us to... Hold on. I got to do one thing. It's just... Maybe we can keep it from crisscrossing if we move it out just a little bit, like that. There we go. And then we drop down. Like that. Okay, yeah, that's way better. Alright. I kind of just dealt with the crisscross before, and I didn't really think about it. So now we can use this land here. Again, we'll just kind of randomly place trees. If we have to remove them, we will. Oh man, I did not eat lunch yet today, so at some point I'm gonna definitely have to get off of here. Which time is it? Okay, it's not too late, but definitely have to get off here and go find something to eat. I am getting hungry. So a new building just across the street from an MGM casino. See, that'd be pretty tempting for me too. I'd be like, oh, I totally want to go drop like $5 in a slot machine right now and grab myself something out of the... I mean, you know, the excuse would always be like, they've got the buffet, right? Like you go over there, you spend a couple bucks on the buffet and it's all you can eat. And while I'm doing all you can eat on my way back through, if I happen to drop $5 in the machine and I win, you know, like what that's the way I'd be playing it. Oh, man. Alright. One thing I really like to do is drop down these bathrooms in areas like this because it just looks right. It feels like it's an area that would have a public restroom with your parking lots. You got your again, you know, your center here for your whatever, your convention center, and then like the hotel for the convention center. But still, there'd be an outdoor area. Something like that. Then let's go ahead. I like these. These are really good for stuff like this, little areas like this. It gets you to keep some trees in the area. Keep it landscaped, but at the same time, there's, you know, places for people to sit. In real life, that would be nice. And then this area here, I'm not 100% sure what to do with. It's just, I wish it would let me put these parking decals down and then I just make another little parking area out here, but it won't let me. So, like, I could do it here. Look at, oh wow, you can park on a dirt spot in the grass. Woo. Fucking stupid. So, yeah, that's exactly it. Like, I would seriously, like, oh, I'm gonna go there and get the buffet and drop $5 in the machine. Oh, I couldn't find the right machine at first. It took me a few minutes to find that machine and drop that $5 in too. I guess we'll just leave that blank for now. It should be fine. I do like how it's all turning out through here, though. It's looking good. I like how you questioned like what was going to happen with that big blank space, but I had a plan. It was either between that or like a theater or something like that. Just wasn't 100% sure how I was going to take that, but this looks a lot better than the way I had it in my test build. I did like the theater, and then one time I like deleted it and added the casino there, and I didn't really like the casino, so I got rid of that. So I was looking at it again just to see, but this I think is the best way to go. Everything else is going to kind of build up around it and look pretty good. I'm not sure why this hotel has giant redwoods outside of it when we are not in an area that would require redwoods. It even has redwoods anywhere, but okay. Florida has pine trees, so fuck it, let's do it. Let's hit play. Just let everything start building and everything like that. One of my focuses in these, what's going on here, is this right here. Making these communal areas that are looking good, making the buildings look more natural, more realistic in what we're doing with them. Just trying to have fun with it and not let it be, just completely bland and boring. I mean, really, a lot of the stuff I haven't been doing has been bland and boring, but I would have to say, like, you just do straight builds like this. This is bland and boring. Let's just look at that straight up. Bland and boring. It's got all the normal stuff in it. Oh, yeah, we built a city. There's houses or businesses or whatever here. But I prefer doing stuff more like this. Okay, we built the housing and everything around it, but then we enjoyed using the area in between it to create an area for the community to come together, do their shopping. I mean, look you've got all these high-rise buildings, but then it just disappears completely for Woodland Park here, where you have all single-level, double-level businesses. The park in there with all the trees. There's just so much here for shopping and stuff like that. It makes it seem more livable, more lovable. You've got a big stadium right here for football or soccer or whatever. People just come here and play and do their thing. It's the same thing over here. So, I'm trying to do something like that where I'm making it to where it just seems like people would have a lot more fun there and they would love to live there versus just being basic-ass buildings and like, oh, look, there's my neighbor's house next door. Wow. And then your backyard, what? There's nothing here in the backyard. I should have done some stuff here in Sorting Hat District and had some fun with these backyard areas. I used to do that before. Put little walkways through there, little tables, just have stuff where the people look like they have fun back there. And maybe at one point we'll come back through and we'll do that, since we're working on Umber Hill and Novell here. Chestnut Heights, High Heights. So we'll come back. We'll look at some stuff like that. Like, that's something actually I was kind of considering with Westwood, was going back through areas, but we did a lot of decorating throughout Westwood as I would work the area, but I was kind of considering going back through for an episode or two and just finding areas like this where we didn't do anything and it's just housing, and going through and having some fun with it, throwing down some trails and rocks and trees and just seeing what we can come up with. In fact, like a spot like this, now you got your road here where you've got your three crosswalks, so why wouldn't you want to do something like this? Let's find our walkway. I think right here would actually be a better spot, but right here isn't too bad either. Let's see. See if we can make it right out there without... Nope, we're going to harm both buildings. So we won't do that. Let's try this one. As long as we come out between the buildings without harming them, it's all I care about. But now we can come down here, and we're like leaving the neighborhood. Come down the hill, and... bam. I need to do more stuff like that, in my opinion, and then at the same time use that to my advantage. Put some trees along there, stuff like that. Have fun with it. So I thought I would kind of go through like Westwood and do some stuff like that possibly in the future. So we might end up seeing Westwood again once or twice, just for fun. Do some stuff like this. You know, here we go. Just kind of a drop down. It goes from the living area. People can just walk to work if they wanted to. If they worked right there, bam, they could walk there. No friggin' problem. Is there a fence there? No. So check this out. We can do this. Boom. Now if you're walking to work, you can go straight to your job here at the fish place. Boom. Love it. Or if you want to go there to buy fish, go buy some dinner. Like, it's awesome. Alright. Let's get back over here. What time is it? We're getting near 2 o'clock. I am starting to get pretty hungry. I did not eat any lunch today. I think I mentioned that before. And I'm starting to get pretty darn hungry here, so... I want to go make myself a sandwich or something pretty soon here. So I think the rest of this area is not going to get touched. This is all going to be a park through here. But the rest of this, let's go ahead and we'll come back through. We'll fix stuff, adjust things as we need to. But let's go with a large. I don't want to do anything around that building. Oh. Filling stuff in. I don't want to fill in. Son of a gun. Okay, so I don't want to fill in this spot around the hotel. I'd rather have a couple of small businesses there or something. Just do that. Whoa, 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 whoa. I think we'll do some more businesses here. We'll kind of do like a little fill up in here with the business. But the rest of this, let's do medium. Fill in stuff I don't want to fill in. There we go. The rest of this, except for the park area, we should fill in. So that, like, we have no need for housing at all. Like, we haven't in so long. There's so much housing throughout this city right now. It's crazy. So all this, though, will be housing in here at some point. This I want to be a giant park. And what I want to do is over here, let's go ahead and fill it in. We'll come back and we'll like adjust later on and do the stuff we got to do. But I want this to be housing as well. And that little corner, though, I want it to remain part of the park from across the street. And you'll see what we do with that a little bit later. We're going to make like some trails that either go over the road or under the road, but one way or another, they're going to connect this side and this side without having to walk across the crosswalk right there. So that's the idea with that. This is all going to be housing, so let's fill this in. Shoot. Over sprayed there, I guess. So, even though I'm filling this in, we're going to come back through here. We're going to knock this all out. I realized as I was filling it in, I was doing the wrong thing here. These two sides, except for... There we go. Down here. That will leave housing. And what we'll do is we're going to run across with some fencing. Oops. I mean, we can always move it around, do whatever we've got to do with it in the future here, but we're just going to throw a little bit. Yeah, I think this will work. Spur and fence. Let's go with freeform. Like that. And that will separate where housing is going to be here. Let's go back to this districting tool. So we got where housing is going to be here, and then this is going to be the elementary school, and you know, like the way I build them up and stuff like that. And then up in here, I'm going to do the high school. So I'll do something like I'm in the right spot. Sure, I think I am. Yeah, there we go. So something like the baseball field, I think will fit good up in here. At the same time, we could look and see how the football field looks. It actually isn't too bad. Actually, I wonder if we could do the football field here. Like that, and then do the baseball field as well. Because I didn't do the baseball field as well last time. Oh, I think that I did mess around with it and couldn't figure it out. There's a spot. We're going to leave that for now, and then we'll come back to it and just kind of play around. For sure, like that's actually pretty good. Let's go ahead and stick a high school in here. Like that, and let's find the elementary school, which is going to go down here. I want it to be in the center. I've got a really good idea for this. We're going to have a lot of fun with the property behind the school here. One thing is going to be a soccer field. Right there. There we go. There we go. So I want the soccer field. And then we're going to add a few other things in there and stuff as well. So how do we increase the demand for housing without destroying existing housing, obviously? Well, the increase for housing demand is going to require more of an increase in the demand for industrial and business. Right now, because there's so much housing, there's more of a demand for that because there's so many people here. But once that gets to a point where we kind of overfill the business and the industrial, that's going to start requiring a need for the housing. So it's just going to take time. As you can see right now, if you look down at the meters down there, there is a tiny bit and it went away. There was a spot of green for a second, so we were kind of at that point where we're starting to overfill business and industrial, and that's going to start requiring a need for more people. But that's with so much taken up, so there's all this is all set up for housing now, and there's stuff building. There's already housing building out there that can increase in size. We've got parks and everything there, so the happiness is at max, and the buildings will increase to their max capacity over time. So it's just all about taking our time, and while we're doing that, figuring out some of the better ways to build to the city. One of the things I'm going to do next week is I want to steal an idea from Westwood, and I'm thinking about either doing the speedway, like building another speedway here in Foosha, or like doing a kind of a mix of a it was just an idea that popped to me. I'm not 100% sure on it yet, because I didn't really do anything with it yet, but it's kind of a mix of taking, like how I did the park next to the small airport in Westwood. I was kind of thinking about doing something similar to that, having the park and the airport, and making it like a complex almost. But I'm not 100% sure about that. But like the speedway is something I definitely have considered working on, because we have so much space. Like we could do something here, make a small speedway here. There's space over here that we haven't bought yet that we could do something with. Of course, there's plenty of space over here we could play around with. So I'm not 100% sure yet. I mean, we could even do something over here, like take a small little section here and have a little oval track or something, you know. So it's all about like just kind of continuing on doing what we're doing and just having fun with the city, and eventually we'll start having that need for housing again. That's why I have it put down like this, why this area is blank. I should have, I mean, instead of painting this all green like I did, I should have painted that green, let that build up. In fact, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just make it all green. Let's just turn it into the housing like it should be. Let that build up over time. There is, I think that one of the reasons I didn't do that originally is because I do need to build some schools, I think. But we'll find out soon enough. I mean, there's a college right there, so we'll come around to that. We'll come back around to that. But for now, just kind of going through and just like, oh yeah, we're going to do this, and throwing down a couple of the key pieces. And now we need electricity in the area. I'm very happy with how the highway has turned out, though. The traffic is flowing amazingly well through here, especially like hitting the roundabout. There's only a little bit of a backup right there. But everything is flowing really smoothly through here after last week. Even getting onto the freeway, or the other freeway, I should say. Getting on and off these sides here. No issues going on. No like long lines or anything like that, which is great. There's kind of a line here, which I noticed earlier, just out of the corner of my eye, but it's not like building up onto the freeway, which is a good thing. So, and then up here really isn't, again, another spot where we're not really dealing with a lot of things going on and stuff like that, so which is good. So, alright, cool. This is actually turning out really well. This is looking really good here. I didn't want to fill in a ton of industrial through here. I wanted just enough to have businesses going, or industrial going on, but not overpower the area with pollution, so to speak. So I think this is going to work out good. We might delete one or two spots here and there and just see what happens. Over here, I did have like this mix of office and industrial, and I'm not sure if I really want to do that here, so I think I'm going to leave it alone for the moment. Especially since we're stepping into business through Franklin Park here, up into High Heights, that's all business. So I kind of wasn't 100% sure with how I wanted to, like, did I really want to roll industrial into the business like that right there? Or did I want to have something kind of break it up? I wasn't sure yet, so we'll come back to that. Let's go ahead and pop this up. There we go. This is looking great. And then even still, just kind of going with the decision of the conference center versus, you know, one of the other choices like the casino or something, I think is actually a good idea here. We might throw in some trees and stuff in little areas like that once things start building up. See how it goes. Around the hotel here, I'm almost wondering if I want to, like, I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know if I'm going to add, if I want the businesses to build up around it, or if I want to leave it blank like it is currently. Kind of like it the way it is currently, so we'll see. So otherwise, that's looking great. I didn't quite get over here to the park that I was thinking about, because I was just kind of messing around with other stuff. I wanted to get this park built up. The idea that I have here is to take from here, we'll go ahead and do this really fast. And then we'll come back to this next week and we'll actually play around with the park and have fun with it. Freeform, make sure all that's off, good. So I wanted to come through here, make a little bit of a trail, and then now what we're going to do is go ahead and drop it down to an underground. And then bring it back up. Ah, shit, too short. There we go. There we go. It connects back in like that, but, you know, you have the whole sidewalk, and then I wanted to do a small little thing here. I'm going to put some, I'm almost wondering if I could use these, but I don't think you can without using a walking area. But you got these food trucks, and I might just use the food trucks alone, because there is this, where did it go? Food truck plaza, but I don't think it'll let me use this without having the area set up as a walking area. So, but I was kind of thinking about that. The ice cream stand next to it. We'll let those sit there for now. We'll come back to that. That's just placeholders for the moment. But yeah, the idea was to kind of do like more of a food thing over here, and then with like a basic park over here. We're going to throw in some, come back here to this spot. Then you got your children's, slides and stuff like that, which would be something like there. Do you see how choppy that is right now? Like, that isn't flowing smoothly. Look at choppy, choppy, chop. Are we finally getting to that point where the PlayStation's having a hard time? Look at, it's kind of choppy. Oh, I think we're getting there. I think we are finding the limits of the PlayStation. Oh, shit. I highly think that the train tracks cause a lot of these fires. Just an FYI, I think the train tracks cause a lot of this. But holy crap. Are we actually reaching the limits of the PlayStation 5? This thing is flying backwards right now. I mean, everything's flowing smoothly right now at the moment. Fire going on, helicopters. Maybe it's just this spot. Oh my god, I'm getting to that point. Oh yeah, it is 98 Fahrenheit. Holy shit! That's what it is here where I live. It's 99 where I live. Currently at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 99 degrees. Holy crap! And living there, it's all tropical. Woo. Imagine 98 degrees with the humidity. Oh god, it's like 115, 120 degrees at that point. That's what it feels like. It's all charred out now. They gotta have helicopters. Oh no, the cemetery got destroyed. Alright, everybody. I think we did a pretty good job with what we're going on for today, or what we're working on for today. And it's going to lead into the next little few steps here and getting ourselves towards the goal of just, well, seeing what we can do with the city. Right now, we're seeing some choppiness here and there, so we might be getting to that point of where we are pushing the boundaries of PlayStation 5, and it's just going to start turning into a choppy mess, which I wholeheartedly welcome, 100%. I can name that tune. I kind of am welcome. I welcome the game failing on me. Like, I want to see how far we can push this. I want to get 1 million citizens, but if we blow the game up at 300,000 citizens, then we know where we can go with these cities right now, and it's a way better thing for the future. It helps us out in the future, I guess. And other people out there watching this will be like, holy shit, you can only get to 300,000 citizens before you die, or the game crashes. But I'm hoping for beyond that. We are hoping for 1 million citizens. We are at over 267,000 people, almost to 268. That's freaking awesome. That is so amazing. And I've had a little too much to drink. I need to go eat. I really need to go eat. I'm gonna go have like a chicken sandwich, I think. I'm gonna go make myself a chicken salad sandwich. It sounds freaking awesome. And you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate y'all. You guys go out there. You have a great week. Stay safe. Stay cool. Stay hydrated. It's gonna be hot this week, I hear. And I will see you next time. If I can find the button.